Good morning, Dr. Stanley.
Yes, good morning to you.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing excellent, thank you.
So today we have a topic about climate change. I would like to interview you and I have some question would like to ask you.
Yes, and I'm very pleased to be able to share from the University of North Florida with your students.
Thank you. Humanity is facing major global challenges that are transnational in nature. Deforestation, drought, overfishing, pollution, soil erosion, nuclear weapons war, ecological collapse. But the most alarming event that concerns the whole entire world is climate change. The challenge facing our climate is the greatest existential threat of our lifetime. If we don't take action, the collapse of our civilizations and the extinction of the natural world is on the line. The amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere now is 50% higher than it was in 1900. Climate change is greater than any one of us, but it requires every single one of us to come together to ensure there can and will be a future for the next to come. I conducted an interview with Dr. Stanley to ask him specifically about this event. Dr. Stanley is an associate professor of literacy education at the University of North Florida. He did a lot of research on climate change. He understands the subject very well and has also taught many students about the event. So the first question is, in your understanding, what is climate change?
Climate change, not to be confused with global warming, uh, is the change in climate, extreme changes in climate that can be hot or cold, that are caused uh, mostly now by human beings by emitting too much carbon dioxide. Yes, the Earth's climate plays a part in it, and we've seen past extinctions where the Earth had severe problems, like with the glacier age and the death of dinosaurs. But they say we are now in the fifth extinction, where most of our climate problems are being caused by humankind.
So is climate change caused by humans?
Mostly now it is, I'm sorry to say. But the good news is we can change our behavior to lessen our impact.
Yes. So what's different between climate change and global warming, as your understanding?
Global warming was the earlier term that scientists first started using because I believe a lot of scientists believe that most of the climate change was just heat and warming up the atmosphere. But as they studied it more, they found the climate change to be broader than just heating up the earth. And we've seen extreme low temperatures as well and more storms. So it's all types of weather that are changing, not just heat.
Yes. The next question is, what are the main threats of climate change and how is climate change affecting our ecosystem?
Sadly, the main effect of climate change will be the fifth extinction, the decimation of the earth. The seas will rise so high, the glaciers will melt so fast, the changes will be so immense that the earth itself will be destroyed. And there are different predictions by learned scientists when this will occur, from anywhere from 20 years to 100 years. Other detrimental effects you can see locally, as in the news today
Exactly.
about the red tide, the devastating fish kill at Clearwater Beach and other beaches, the heating up of the water, the interaction with pollution. Uh, our wonderful beaches in Florida are more frequently getting the red tide, uh, which could devastate our tourist industry. Many young people could lose their jobs because people will stop going to the beach. It's unsafe. Other devastating effects that you will see are flooding, uh, your car stalling out in a
Yeah.
20-foot. I almost lost my own car once in Clearwater as it started floating down the street. I kid you not. And we almost lost our car from the
Wow.
flooding. Also, worldwide, we're seeing geopolitical devastation with people having to immigrate from one place to another. For example, last year in India, the temperatures were like something like 120, 125 degrees, and millions of people are being uprooted from floods and temperatures too hot, crops being destroyed. So that
One of the reason. Yes.
effects.
Yes. In my class, we did watch some documentary about fishing, and I think that's also one of the reason to cause climate change because people keep fishing and killing like shark, whales, and all kinds of fish in the ocean, and it affects a lot with the ecosystem in general.
Yes, and I'm sorry to say, your own country, Vietnam, there was devastating reports from science that the fishing industry is going to be really harmed in
It
Vietnam,
was, yes.
and many of the areas will go underwater first because they're already below sea level, many places in Vietnam. So you will see a crisis emerging in Vietnam, and already happening for fish kills that you've seen in the news.
Yeah, from the factory, they have a lot of chemicals, the bad chemical, and they put it into outside of the ocean, and that kill many fishes.
Right, and the water is rising. People who live on coastlines, sometimes they completely lose their house, their business, because the water comes up so fast.
So, what is your final message to the young people out there who want to reduce the impacts of climate change to protect the environment and our planet?
Become a consumer of everything you can read about climate change in magazines, newspapers, local news stories, uh, documentaries. Uh, get involved in taking some actions yourself by reducing your carbon footprint. Uh, if you can, think about not using so much carbon based fuels and moving towards electric cars, hybrid cars.
After the interview, I asked myself a question. At this point, is it too late to stop climate change? The answer is no. It's not too late to stop climate change. This isn't a problem half measures can solve. It goes beyond energy, efficiency, and zero net emissions. We need to actively remove carbon from the atmosphere, and do so within the next 10 years, or else we'll face irreparable damage to our atmosphere. The implications are huge. A mass disease caused by carbon pollution, rising sea levels, extinction, shortages of every major resource, migration inland. The cost of waiting far exceeds the price to act now. We need bold policies that put the life and continuity of humankind above profit. My name is Duke. Thank you for watching.